I looked at Fang Jiai and tossed her a set of clothes. If you want to keep following me, you gotta change into these. What you're wearing right now is way too eye-catching. Fang Jiai caught the clothes and opened them up. A pair of jeans and this super tacky top, plus a few other outfits and jackets she could swap between. Looks like Zhou Tao had already prepped for a long-term escape. Fang Jiai didn't hesitate. She quickly grabbed the clothes. Then step out for a sec. As she said this, her face went red, like unnaturally red. As long as she could make it through 5 days, her popularity would definitely skyrocket. By the time she got back, she'd probably score big. Thinking about this, Fang Jiai started giggling like an idiot again. Seeing her laugh like that, I seriously questioned her mental state. I shook my head and stepped outside. It was 3 p.m. now, and neither of us had slept. We were exhausted, but we couldn't stop. The cops could get here within 3 hours, so time was running out. Right then, the door across from us opened. It was this scruffy-looking dude with a messy beard. His hair was all greasy, clearly hadn't been washed. He had these dark circles under his eyes, like he hadn't slept right in forever. Chronic insomnia vibes. I turned my head away, didn't make eye contact, didn't think much of it. This scruffy guy walked right past me without saying a word, heading downstairs. Then I caught a glimpse of his hand. There were calluses on his palm between the thumb and index finger. Those calluses? That's what you get from years of handling guns. Made me a little suspicious. This wasn't the hand of some regular civilian. This guy was either ex-military or someone who handled guns regularly. As a special forces soldier, my guard went up immediately. This dude was definitely not a good guy. A bit later, the guy walked past again. I played it cool, acting like I didn't notice anything. But this time, I watched how he walked, his mannerisms. It confirmed my suspicions. This guy was on the run just like me, dodging the cops. The dark circles, the calluses, the way his eyes darted around while walking, he was constantly scanning for potential threats. Hey man, is there anything fun around here? I just got here, so I figured I'd ask. As I said this, I pulled out a cigarette from my pack and handed it to him. The guy glanced at me, didn't seem suspicious, and took it. I lit it for him. After taking a drag, the guy perked up and relaxed a bit. Fun stuff? Down south, there's a creek. You can catch crabs, fish, stuff like that. Other than that, there's not much else. The guy nodded as he spoke, but his eyes were sizing me up. On the surface, we looked like 2 normal dudes just chatting. But I could tell something was off. I immediately realized this guy was not ordinary. Getting your hands on a gun isn't easy. People with guns are either cops or dangerous criminals. Sure, I was being treated like a fugitive now, but I was still a proud soldier. When facing criminals, there's absolutely no room for mercy. Taoge, where are we going next? Fang Jiai asked. She was lying on the bed, her ankle still hurting, though it had gotten a bit better. She tried getting up to walk, barely managed to move around. Right then, I turned around and walked out of the room. Fang Jiai nodded without saying much more and laid back down on the bed. I stepped into the hallway and slowly walked up to the guy's door. This farmhouse was made of wood, pretty old school. The windows let you see inside and the soundproofing wasn't great. I stood at the door, listening carefully to what was going on inside. Through the crack in the door, I could see into the room. Everything was neatly arranged. But then I spotted it. A black handgun sitting there, a magazine next to it, and a few bullets scattered on the table. My eyes narrowed. There were already undercover cops patrolling this village. Since the cops were here, might as well do a good deed. In this country, regular citizens can't own firearms. Having a gun is illegal possession. I didn't know if this guy had done anything bad, but just having that gun meant he'd already committed a crime. Without thinking twice, I knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Who is it? The guy's voice came through, all cautious. It's me, we just talked earlier. I said it casually. But the guy inside hesitated. Clearly wasn't planning to open the door yet. Then I heard some commotion inside. I could imagine what was happening. The guy was frantically hiding the gun and bullets from the table. I was confident in my skills. As a special forces soldier, dealing with some out-of-shape dude, piece of cake. Still, out of respect for my opponent, I stayed fully prepared. What's going on? The guy asked again. I answered calmly. Didn't we just talk about that creek? I wanted to ask you more about it. I'm about to head out there. Hearing that, the guy seemed to relax. Soon, I heard footsteps. My expression darkened as I braced my foot against the doorframe. The second the door opened, the guy said impatiently, "Look, kid, there's really nothing fun around this place." Without a word, I covered his mouth and unleashed a series of military combat moves. I landed a punch right in his gut. The pain was so intense he nearly threw up everything he'd just eaten. Realizing things were going south, the guy reached behind his back. Looked like the gun was tucked there. But I was faster. I got my hand to his back first, grabbed the gun, and yanked it out. "Dude, you think just anyone can carry this?" I said with a cold laugh, quickly checking the bullets in the gun. At the same time, I chambered around. The gun barrel, dark and menacing, pressed right against his forehead. The guy was so scared he didn't dare breathe. But then his voice turned cold, shocked. "You're a cop?" I shook my head. This was a real gun, way more intimidating than that fake one I had. "Not a cop, but you don't look like a good guy either. What do you want?" "You want the gun? You can have it. You want money? Take it all." Hearing me say that, the guy suddenly calmed down. A smirk crept onto his face. If I wasn't a cop and wasn't here to arrest him, then I probably just wanted money or the gun. But looking at my skills, I clearly wasn't some regular person, probably military background too. "I already got the gun, and I don't need your money. I said flatly, then kicked him to get him moving inside. The guy didn't dare argue. After all, I had a gun pointed at him and could end him any time. Seeing how cooperative he was, I nodded. We both went inside and I shut the door behind us. Not knowing if he had any other weapons, I found some rope and tied him up tight. With the guy kneeling on the floor, I finally felt safe enough to sit down in a chair. "So, what did you do?" I interrogated him. "I'm a good guy, man. This is all just a misunderstanding. Let me go and I'll give you 200K. The gun? You can have it. Plus, I can tell you where to buy more guns." Hearing this, I just laughed. The guy looked at me, probably thinking I was just some punk kid in my 20s. No way I could resist that kind of temptation. 200K for someone my age? That's serious money. And judging by my clothes, I didn't look rich either. But instead, I didn't say a word and slapped him hard across the face. 200K and you think you can buy me off? Who the hell do you think you are? I asked you a question. Are you deaf? Just then, I noticed several cars pulling up on the road outside the window. My brow furrowed. The cops got here faster than I thought. No more time to stick around. I looked down at the guy, grabbed another rope, and tied his hands and feet even tighter, then looped it around a post. Then I slapped a piece of black tape over his mouth. I aimed the gun at the ceiling and fired a shot. Bang! Then I fired 3 more rounds.